I went into this not knowing what to expect, but man, I was entertained, right? But this thing is campy, it's corny, it's unintentionally funny. Christoph Waltz is in this thing just goofing the fuck off. I don't know what the hell he is doing.
At one point early in this film, I literally thought to myself, is this a joke? And it is shocking. It's shocking because it's Luc Besson. I did not know how to deal with this film. Hello, friends and listeners. You have a brand new episode of Watch Skip Plus. We want to be your go-to source for insightful and pop-cultured movie reviews. My name is Jose, also known as Cupcake, and I'm joined by this Seattle fan, my co-host, Mike, also known as the Wildebeest. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I've been doing my Latin dancing, been enjoying my life. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We recorded this the day after the Super Bowl. I had a blast with the Super Bowl, man. I know people complain about the game being boring. The first half was slow. It was a defensive game, but then the Super Bowl halftime show came. Rocked.
Honestly, I don't think boring was the issue. All these Seattle fans were like, normally we'd celebrate, but this was like a hideously ugly win. And so it is what it is.
Ugly for them. They should have gotten 3 touchdowns instead of 3 field goals by the first half, but it is what it is. And that halftime, I mean, it wasn't Kendrick Lamar because everyone knows I loved that show. I mean, that was like,
sure. Yes.
But still,
it wasn't
cool.
even Madonna from 2012, folks.
That was fun too with MIA. I'm actually going to just go see MIA live soon. So yeah, it was a good time. We just kind of watched the game and laughed, and yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining.
Well,
danced to Bad Bunny.
Speaking of laughing, and by the way, I had to tell people, I'm like, Bad Bunny's trying to give it a go as an actor. Bullet Train, first movie we reviewed. Yeah. And then, what was it? Caught Stealing.
Happy really Gilmore 2.
Happy
was in Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes. But speaking of laughing, what are we reviewing this week?
You mean inadvertent laughter? We are reviewing Dracula by Luc Besson. I think it was in some markets Dracula: A Love Story. In America, I think
colon is right. I'm sorry.
I think it's just called Dracula in America.
Yeah, honestly, when I looked it up and I was like, wait, what is this Dracula: A Love Story? Lo and behold, that is the title that was, overseas. So obviously the 1897 novel by Bram Stoker, aka Abraham Stoker, Irish writer, barrister, that's lawyer overseas, and then theater manager, okay. Dracula was his 7th novel. He also wrote romance and what are called sensation novels, kind of like the precursor to Pulp Fiction novels. Curiously enough, there was actually a sequel for Dracula, which included a relationship between Mina Harker and Dracula. This I did not know. Our director and writer is Luc Besson, the legendary Luc Besson. His movies introduced me to world cinema. I mean, Nikita and then The Professional. Now, he had started with Subway with Isabella Gianni and Christopher Lambert, and then The Big Blue, I think, was such a hit at Cannes Film Festival. La Femme Nikita, originally known as Nikita, and then Leon, The Professional. And then we get The Fifth Element in 97, which, I'm sorry, that is a blast. So much fun to watch. And then he would start a thing with Mila Jovovich. They did The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc, not entirely successful. He's also written screenplays, so Kiss of the Dragon with Jet Li, The Transporter, Taxi, District B13, the parkour movie. So this should tell you about what kind of a sort of pop culture action person Luc Besson is. What do you think about Luc Besson?
Well, besides the fact he got Me Too'd and he's kind of a creep, I know, divorce the art from the artist, whatever. I like his kids' movies, honestly. I like the stuff he's done for kids, like Valerian, and I like the Arthur trilogy. I think that he has a real fun touch. when it comes to some of those kids' movies. He also did a film called The Extraordinary Adventure of Adele Blanc-Sec, which is beautiful, really kind of cool.
Oh,
So
okay.
I tend to like, and I've seen almost all this stuff. Lucy's great, the family's actually kind of entertaining, but there's just that big blight, Me Too, that's kind of slapped him in the face. And we kind of seen it from Leon the Professional through his weird grooming and relationship and marriage to Mila. So, I mean, you got to kind of have to divorce yourself from him. I know some people can't, and it kind of cost him his U.S. career. He hasn't really done much in the U.S. besides, I mean, we're going to talk about it. He's kind of gotten his new muse is Caleb Landry Jones. This is the second film they've done recently, and he did do one called June and John that I've heard some mixed things about. I'm very hit or miss with Besson. I think he's very stylish, and when the style is right, like with his kids' films, cartooniness of it fits, right? It doesn't feel out of tune. Sometimes he has such a cartoony nature, and we're going to talk about some weird cartoon choices he made in this film that just don't seem to fit the overall vibe. I think it fit with like the Fifth Element, right? That has a very cartoony vibe. Even the CGI looks like it's like hand drawn, animated. So it has a really cool vibe. I mean,
to be sure, if you look at The Professional, if you look at Nikita, even there is a cartoonish comic book sensibility to his movies, and his plots can definitely be ludicrous. I'm going to return to that word. But really quickly, we should talk about the fact that his ex-wife, when he got Me Too'd, his ex-wife kind of stepped in it, but essentially that woman, that ex-wife, it came out that Besson had known her since she was 15. Their relationship might have been the basis for his screenplay for The Professional. So unfortunately, that is the substance of it. And it's what's interesting, I think, and then we'll definitely move on, is The Professional is such a great film, but people have come back on it and sort of been like, I don't know that I'm okay with this. Our music is by Danny Elfman. We talked about Danny Elfman last time because he scored Send Help, which, by the way, #1 movie this past weekend. Thank you. It registered, I think, what do I want to say? Like a minus 58% maybe. But I don't know. I hope people continue to keep seeing it. Our cinematographer is Colin Wandersman. He shot Dogman. We talked about that. Weekend in Taipei, which, Besson wrote. I don't know if you saw that. I saw it in the theaters. Luke Evans was in it. What a wacky fucking movie. If it pops up on streaming, folks, see it because it is wacky as shit. But Wandersman has also lensed Junk Love, Let It Snow. So mainly like French stuff. Any comments about our crew before I move on to the cast really quickly?
Nope.
Okay, so Caleb Landry Jones, Texan. He's actually a musician. Many may recognize Caleb Landry Jones from his sort of banner 2017. These are the films that came out in 2017 that he had a role in. Doug Liman's American Made with Tom Cruise, Sean Baker's The Florida Project, Jordan Peele's Get Out, which is interesting because Scooter was like, wasn't he in Get Out? And I'm like, he wasn't in fucking Get Out. Actually, he was. And then the crime drama 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, which is a fantastic film. And I think he won a SAG award for that, his role in that, actually. And then he would actually win the Cannes Film Festival Best Actor Award for Justin Kurzel's Nitram, which I'm dying to see, but I hear he is pretty fantastic in it. He plays a young man who was behind an Australian mass murder in Tasmania. That was in 2021. What do you think about Caleb Landry Jones? Did I mention he also has a album career as a psychedelic rock artist? He's put out like 4 albums.
No, I like him actually. I mean, I do quite like him. I think that he has a lot of range. He is very much like a young Gary Oldman. I think he can kind of get lost in the characters. And I totally see him being written for this Dracula character. So, yeah, I actually like him. So I think he has the chops given the right material.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think he's a fantastic chameleonic actor, as you have been mentioning. Also, it's curious, like, Scooter doesn't think he's attractive at all. And to be sure, he does not have typical leading man looks. Like, he's like very white, very pale. He's got like the freckles or whatever. But I just can't take my eyes off of him. And I would urge potentially people to see Brandon Cronenberg's Antiviral, which he starred in. I don't want to give away too much about the film, but just the concept of the film and then a couple things in the movie that take place or that are featured in the film are so deeply offensive to me in a way that many movies are not. It's really hard to offend me, but Antiviral is so offensive to me. Yeah, y'all can see it for what it is. And then call me a sensitive pussy. I don't know. Anyway, it's creepy as fuck. All right. So interestingly enough, and I had no idea about this, but Zoe Blue is also in this. She's the actress who plays the love interest. I had no idea. That's Rosanna Arquette's daughter. So, part of that whole acting dynasty. I think this is one of her first big roles. Also, we must not glance over the brilliant Christoph Waltz, who was in this. I kept calling him Van Helsing, but he's just the priest.
There's no Van Helsing.
They never give a name.
Because I think the rights are owned for the character Van Helsing, so I don't think they could use the term.
Anyway. He's great. Chudnovsky or Bloodnovsky himself, if you guys remember that from his role in Green Hornet, which I know people hate, but obviously people will know Christoph Waltz from Inglourious Basterds. Quentin Tarantino worked with him again, Django Unchained. I think he was nominated for an Academy Award for that role in Inglourious Basterds. Interestingly enough, he and Caleb Landry Jones have won Best Actor at Cannes Film Festival. But I will also note that I love that he has played Blofeld in 2 James Bond Daniel Craig films, No Time to Die and then Spectre. So I love this guy. How do you feel about Christoph Waltz? I love him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, talking about directors who probably should be canceled, he was in a great Roman Polanski film a little while ago called Carnage. I don't know if many people saw. It was based off of a play. It's just
that was good.
A four-hander, 4 people in a room. I love those kind of chamber pieces, man. And that's a great film. I mean, yeah, just a great film. And he really shows his acting chops in that. I mean, I think he gets so much just caught up in the machine of Quentin Tarantino that we forget he's done a lot of stuff outside of that.
Yeah, absolutely. He won the Cannes Film Festival award for Best Actor for Inglourious Basterds. Hello.
There you go.
But I should also note that I recently saw Old Guy featuring the soon-to-be-revealed hairy butt of Cooper Hoffman. I didn't like that movie for whatever reason. I haven't seen
it. I heard mixed things. I was going to push play, but...
There's not much chemistry. They're trying to do this Lethal Weapon thing between Hoffman and Christoph Waltz, and it doesn't work. We
didn't even mention
kind of a mess of a movie.
We didn't mention he was in Frankenstein. I mean, we had Frankenstein to right. Dracula.
And Dracula. Like, what are we doing? We're touring all the classic monsters. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Anyway, good for him. Good for him. Get your money. Get your pocket.
Thank you.
Christoph. And there's 2 other people I'm going to mention. I've never seen this guy before. Ewins Abid or Ewins Abid. He plays Jonathan Harker. But apparently he was in a film called The Last Rifleman, which I heard was actually pretty good. Tuesday with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and then he was on 5 episodes in Andor. I've actually never seen him before. I think he's really good looking. I think his nose is really sexy. I've never seen him before, but he's in this. And then the only other person I'm going to mention is a Matilda De Angelis. She's Italian. Gorgeous. Actress. I think this is one of her first big roles. She is gorgeous, and for a hot second I was like, it's Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is in this movie.
Yeah,
but it was not her, folks. It was not. I was expecting her to sing and dance, which, anyway, we're going to get to that. All right, so here we go. Spoiler-free thoughts. Luc Besson's Dracula, which, by the way, premiered last year, July 2025 at the Cannes Film Festival, and just now seeing the light of day. Haha, pun intended. Mike, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first off, I'm a big Dracula fan, and I think we're going to talk about our favorite versions of Dracula.
Oh, yeah. Please do so.
Yeah, so of course, I mean, the man, the myth, the legend. When we think about Dracula, we think of Bela Lugosi. Just a great mythical version. The film itself is very melodramatic, and a lot of people love that film, but for me, the film itself isn't that great. But Bela Lugosi is wonderful in it. I remember going to see Bram Stoker's Dracula when I was in junior high, I believe. My mom went and took me on opening morning.
The Coppola film.
Yeah, the Coppola film, Dracula. This is Bram Stoker's Dracula from Coppola. And it was one of the first things I read in junior high, and I really liked it. I rewatched it a couple years ago. It doesn't stand up, but you can tell that this film very much is almost like playing with the ideas and concepts of the Coppola film more than the
plagiarizing.
Film. Yes.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Yes, but I love that. I also like tea. I love Dracula 2000.
Oh
so
my
bad,
God,
but it's so fun and so corny.
No, but
2000s
you know what?
new metal.
It's not bad. It's wonderful. It's you know what? It's weird. If you think about how Dracula, the original with Bela Lugosi, was, and how we look at it as kind of like, oh my God, like what, so tongue in cheek. I feel the same way about Dracula 2000. It's just such a guilty pleasure. I love Patrick Lussier.
It's great.
It's great.
And recently, I have to mention Nick Cage's turn as the character in Renfield, which I've seen 4 times, and it's only been out like a year or 2.
God.
I think it's a blast. It's a really, really fun movie, and his version of Dracula is a blast. So I tend to like the more campy versions of Dracula, while I still hold in my heart deep, love for Coppola's Bram Stoker. So going into it was different.
I'm gonna second Bram Stoker's Dracula. I saw that as a sneak preview at College Park. None of us knew what to expect. It is kind of a Baroque mess, like BAROQUE, not like broke mess, because it's an expensive movie. Yeah, but you know what? I think it holds up, and there's so much fantastic cinematography in it.
Oh, it looks
the only other Dracula I would say that I kind of have a soft spot for is Frank Langella's portrayal in John Badham's Dracula. Uh-huh. I did like that one a lot, and Langella played him on Broadway and some off-Broadway stuff before taking it to the screen. Yeah. So, knowing that that's your favorite, what did you think about Besson's Dracula?
It's okay. Again, it's very cartoony. It's entertaining though. Like, I went into this not knowing what to expect. I haven't seen any new Besson films really since like Lucy. So, and a lot of, the rumors, the Me Too, it's kind of turned me off. So I didn't know what to expect, but man, I was entertained, right? But this thing is campy. It's corny. It's unintentionally funny. It's not scary at all. Christoph Waltz is in this thing just goofing the fuck off. I don't know what the hell he is doing. He's just like, this movie is so corny. I'm just goofing off with it. He smiling.
Got the memo, I guess.
He's like smiling as he's giving dramatic dialogue, and his hair is, who knows where his Farquaad hair is. One moment it's like shifted to the side. He's got that Lord Farquaad going on. It's like the movie, it's mimicking Bram Stoker's Dracula from Coppola. This is a Baroque mess. It shouldn't be entertaining in a funny way, but it is. It's almost kind of... I went and saw this with my buddy Brian Higgins, and he liked it a lot, actually. He quite enjoyed it.
I can imagine
it's very Hammer, right? And he loves Hammer. Yeah. It's steeped in the Hammer lore. You've got to be open and honest about that. It very much is. But it's not really a spoiler because it's out there, but they're these CGI. I'm not going to say the term that they aren't. They're actually called grotesques. So they're CGI grotesques, which you might actually call gargoyles. But that's not what they are. They're actually grotesques. But Higgins wanted to make sure I said that on the podcast and didn't call them gargoyles. But these CGI
call them gargoyles.
Are just so
grotesque,
corny and campy. They have no emotion, but yet they can run and fight and jump and tackle.
Kung Fu Gargoyles was not on my bingo card for 2026.
No, it was not. It was not. And they kind of like, the ending turns into Beauty and the Beast. It's just this weird, wild, silly ride. I think it's really made for people who like Harlequin romance novels. It almost feels like a gothic.
It's made for somebody, I'll tell you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It feels like a gothic like romance novel put to film that just doesn't quite work. But I couldn't fucking not look at it. Like, it's not a good movie. It's messy. The CGI is bad. And you liked the actor who played Jonathan, but he's the most milquetoast, lame-ass version of that character I have ever seen. I mean, the dude's a complete and total pussy. His girlfriend is getting stolen by Dracula, and he's just like, oh, well. I mean, the guy's just a complete total milquetoast. So it ruined the character.
So,
not that Keanu
but, Bill and Ted was like,
it was
not that Keanu did any better. And
it was like less
whoa,
Dracula.
Vampire Mina.
Leave me alone. So, I mean, the character is corny, and he really does turn him into this lame-ass milquetoast. I never, for once, cared about this guy or felt that him and Mina had any type of relationship. Because this movie tries to change everything and turn Mina into the version of his love, Elizabeth, which is an interesting twist. But, I mean, it's almost like Frankenstein, where you have this love for the source material, but you want to make it your own. Right. But Luc Besson is not Guillermo del Toro. I'm sorry. Yeah. I think maybe he thought he was. He was making his version of Dracula like Del Toro was making his version of Frankenstein. I mean, this might actually get nominated for some Razzies. I definitely could see that because it's so corny. I mean,
yeah.
So campy. The dialogue, it feels like it was made in 1960 in a cheesy little backlot in the UK. So it feels cheap. It seems
Finland.
cheap. It's just a fun, silly, goofy, cheap, so bad it's good movie. I don't know where I stand with it. I kind of enjoyed myself, but it's a fucking bad movie. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
But I was entertained. But with being a film snob that I am, I can't really tell people to go to this and expect anything serious. So, I mean, if you like camp and you want to see a campy Luc Besson version of Bram Stoker's Dracula, even with Landry wearing the big gray hair like Oldman does, it's interesting. Like, it really is interesting. It doesn't work really at all. And that Beauty and the Beast ending had me howling in laughter. So, yeah, I guess.
So is it a watch or a skip? What is it?
I guess I'm a soft skip because I can't really wholeheartedly tell people this is worth your time to spend money to see in theaters. When in the end, what we kind of are here to do is to say, spend your money in the theaters.
I have a solution for you. All I can say is it's a movie. And I'm certainly gonna talk more about my reaction to this, but like, I think we have our first draw because I honestly don't know if I love this movie or if I hate it. I have no idea whether to tell somebody to see it, spend money on it, or wait until it streams for free on something. I don't know. Or it goes straight to Tubi. I have no idea. So I think this is going to be our first ever historic draw because, quite honestly, you are absolutely right. I think so bad it might actually be good is an overwhelming feeling. Like, Team Webb is like over this shoulder being like, you love this, don't you? You fucking love this. But then the movie critic in me is like, what is going on? And so the second shocking thing I'm going to say to you and to the viewers is Luc Besson, right? Fifth Element, all of those movies. At one point early in this film, I literally thought to myself, is this a joke? am I being punked? Like, literally, I had this thought in the back of my head that the projectionist was going to come out and apologize and joke and be like, we were told to do this, but we're going to start the real movie now. Like, that is literally how I felt about this film. And it is shocking. It's shocking because it's Luc Besson. I was like, I did not know how to deal with this film because first of all, and we'll get to this in the spoiler section, it is very obvious. It's Dracula through the lens of like tragic lovers, Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
Like that whole first scene, and again, we'll get to it, but like, it's like, oh, this is where he's going with it, right? But then Besson says he wasn't inspired by Coppola's Dracula.
Bullshit.
And I'm like, you have stolen so much from it. Like, there's no way you couldn't have, right?
Yeah. Total thievery.
But total thievery. But then you say Christoph Waltz shows up. He is acting in a completely different film where he is in on the joke, and his character is a little fantastic, actually. And so then I'm like, what the hell is going on?
He's waiting for Leslie Nielsen to come out in Dracula Dead and loving it. He was literally like, that's what
Palazzo. I mean, come on. And then we're going to get to this in the spoiler section. They throw in this thing about how he's going to find his love interest. And this sequence took me so far out of it. It looked like they filmed in front of like a Microsoft Teams or Zoom virtual background. When I was like, oh my God. And the rest of the film is just more and more of this ludicrousness. Maybe Luke is short for ludicrous, or maybe that's French for I don't know. Because this thing is such a train wreck, and it's so awful, but it's hypnotic.
You can't look away. You can't.
I thought about leaving, but then I was like, but how will I ever discover how this ends? And for what it's worth, Caleb Landry Jones, again, it's a draw. I love him as an actor, but I have no idea how to judge his performance because it's over the top, but also still kind of subtle in some scenes. I don't know how to explain it. This movie is a conundrum.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I mean, when I'm watching it and I'm thinking, is this a joke? That is it's a huge problem. And yet, when there are the kung fu gargoyles, there is shit that goes down in this. There's like a weirdo torture scene where the Harker's making jokes, and I'm just like, I'm not so sure what is going on. Does it want to be a romance? Does it want to be horror? Does it want to be a black comedy? I have no idea.
And what does he think romance is? Like that montage in the beginning of them giggling and her shooting the gun and playing and rolling around in bed, and that's all we got to build their relationship off of. It's like, that's not love. That's like puppy dog lust between teenagers, is what it seemed like. But that was the unrequited love, that
the deep abiding love that through the centuries he's going to stay alive for. I was like, fuck no. And yet I couldn't take my eyes off.
I couldn't either. It is a conundrum. My friend who goes to the Fantastic Fest saw Dogman and said, it is one of those movies that is a hot mess. You're either on the train of the fucking mess or you're not. And I think that's kind of just what Luc Besson is doing. I mean, if you know about Dogman, it's about a dog-loving cross-dresser or drag queen that goes around and killing people with dogs. And getting revenge with dogs. It's supposedly just completely and totally out there, and it's very not LGBTQ friendly. It's very just like shockingly, I guess.
Oh my God. Luc Besson. Luc Besson, the first virtual therapy session is on me.
Yeah,
it really is. No, I'm sorry. That's kind of being mean, but it's the only thing I can think of after seeing this. Like,
well, if you haven't yet, you should just look up the image of Caleb Landry Jones in drag from Dogman. It's so over the top.
You know what? I'm sorry. I have to rent it. I have to rent it, and I have to watch it. I'm going to do it right when we're done recording. But for now, I think this is a historic draw.
Yeah,
it is,
I mean,
It's a draw.
Audience,
This is, you know
if you
what?
want to see something bad, I guess go see it, but don't blame us when it's bad. Because
Yeah, that's the caveat, folks. Like, this may interest you, but if you see it and you want to come for us, we warned you. We absolutely warned you. I can see future Not a Bomb and GGTMC podcasters in the future being like, holy shit, this thing is amazing. Why did people hate it? But
probably. I mean, think about The
probably-
Fifth Element. At the time it came out, it polarized audiences and critics.
did it?
Critics
Because
did
I know
not love
we
it.
loved it. I know
The
we
youth
loved
did.
it. Yeah.
We as kids did. But critics, if you look back, they kind of trashed it at the time.
They trashed it.
Yeah. It
Well,
got-
what do they know? I don't know. Anyway.
It's a fast talking, loose. I mean, his movies are all just so weird. I mean, he's just a weird filmmaker. I mean,
But even for him, this is a
weird.
weird stretch. No, flex, as the
Weird
young kids
flex,
say. It's
yeah.
a weird flex.
It's all familiar. You're going to be like, oh, this is all familiar to stuff I've seen before. But it's got this weird, like almost hypnotic badness.
So,
to it.
and that is the other thing that I'm a little perplexed about, because either Luc Besson is just off his rocker, or he's savvy enough to use the audience's sort of built-in meta knowledge of other adaptations and sort of weaponize it against us into this weird freak sideshow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Dracula's like a
Anywho.
hero. He turns them into like the anti-hero, which is so strange. It's a
And
very
that
interesting
ending,
movie.
we're going to need to talk about that ending
yeah.
in the spoiler section, because I was just like, I'm sorry, what?
So all of you watching this right
What?
now, you've got to join us in a couple days when we drop the spoilers,
Yes.
because really the meat of this is going to be in the
Please.
spoilers. Because
Because
can't
we're
really
also,
say much.
not only will we spoil it, but then you'll be like, wait, what? And then you'll either really jump in and see this,
Yeah.
or you'll hate it. So, all right, first historic draw. Really, maybe after spoilers we'll have a decision, but we'll see. All right, folks. So again, in 2 days we do a spoilered discussion of the film. That would be episode number B, right? So this is 156. It'll be 156B. At any rate, if you love us, please check out these other podcasts: our Podfathers, A Gentleman's Guide to Midnight Cinema, and Not a Bomb. The OG's Night of the Living podcast, also Wild Dream podcast, Death by DVD. Raiders of the Podcast, Backlook Cinema podcast with Zoe, our YouTube brothers, the Two Johns over it, and now for something a little bit different, Caliber 9 from Outer Space, Feminine Critique, and then Talk Without Rhythm with Goro. Mike, parting thoughts other than Luc Besson, what the fuck?
shout out to the Johns. I requested them to review Frankenstein because I thought John would really like it. John Nance.
Yeah.
And they both liked it for different reasons. John Nance was much more on the love it bit train I was, while I think John was more like you and Sam. Liked it, but not quite love. So it was interesting.
A Baroque mess.
Yeah, kind of. So yeah, and then it was interesting listening to that today, knowing we were going to record about another Baroque mess.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to those guys for doing that, because I did request them and they did review it. They don't usually review new films, so I'm glad they did.
Nice. Good. And as always, folks, be kind, be open, be vulnerable. That's where the art is. Gotta tune in for this Besson freak show. Please, with our spoiler discussion. See you on the other side, guys.
Peace.